playtime! Yay! There are a bajillion superhero action figures in the world, so it's hard to believe in the early 70s, if you wanted to play with your favorite comic book characters, your options were extremely limited. But that all changed thanks to one company called MIB, who successfully licensed both DC and Marvel properties in 1972.
Superman, the Man of Steel. Captain America, fighting injustice the world over.
Isn't it crazy to see DC and Marvel heroes in the same toy commercial?
Falcon, that great black superhero.
Wait, what the fuck did he just say? Although history associates the MIB name with their action dolls, MIB did create a line of smaller figures called pocket superheroes. Some consider these the very first traditional superhero action figures. MIB Toys has a long and interesting history, but that's not what we're here to discuss today.
Coming from the farthest reaches of the universe to challenge the worst villains on Earth are the most powerful heroes ever in the Battle of the Superpowers Collection.
In 1984, a year after MIB shut down, DC Comics licensed their heroes to Kenner, who created the Superpowers toy collection. It was a great fit. Kenner had recently become a major player in the toy world thanks to some movie I never heard of called
The Star Wars.
Now, originally Mattel, the makers of He-Man, had approached DC for licensing, but they lost the deal to Kenner. So, Mattel went to Marvel, and Marvel was on board. But since there was no cartoon show to push the brand like He-Man, Mattel was adamant that Marvel create a special publication to tie into the toy launch. Comic fans were constantly demanding a big epic story with all their favorite heroes and villains, so this was an easy demand for Marvel to fulfill. According to Jim Shooter, then editor-in-chief at Marvel, Mattel had conducted focus groups and found that kids reacted positively to the words wars and secret. Thus, Secret Wars was born.
Secret Wars. What's Dr. Doom's mission? Secret Shield? Zap Captain America with my Doom Roller.
Secret Wars. They're coming from the east. Iron Man, fly over and attack them from the back. But shh, it's a secret. Thor, don't tell anyone, but take down their soldiers. Hulk, smash. Quietly. I should also point out that Mattel went fucking nuts with this license. In addition to figures, there were stickers, lunchboxes, whatever the fuck this is, whatever that is. What is that? The first wave of Secret Wars figures included Captain America, Spider-Man, Iron Man, Wolverine, Dr. Doom, Magneto, Kang, and Dr. Octopus. Every figure came with a shield that held lenticular images, which would display morphing images including the hero's secret identity? Secret Wars. Alright, everyone got their shields ready? Wait, you have shields now? But shields are my thing. Well, now we all have shields, Cap. Your whole costume is a shield. Wait, my shield is revealing a secret message. It turns out I'm Tony Stark. You didn't just hear that. Secret Wars. Actually, here's a little fun fact. At the time of the comic series, Iron Man was actually Jim Rhodes and not Tony Stark. So is this the first ever Jim Rhodes action figure? Well, the back of the card says it is, but then his shield reveals Tony Stark. So I'll let you draw your own conclusion. It's clear that Mattel was focusing more of their energy on the He-Man line, with Secret Wars being a secondary priority. Production costs were purposely kept very low, by repainting the basic sculpts to create new characters, and making the figures considerably smaller than the He-Man characters. Plus, the Secret Wars figures only had 5 points of articulation.
And 5 points was all we needed, you fucking precious.
Mattel also paid little mind to the actual Secret Wars comic book. For example, the back of each figure would include stats of the character as well as a mini comic strip. Here you can clearly see that the story going on in the toy universe had very little to do with what was happening in the Secret Wars comic series. Yes, they both used the plot that the characters were transported to a strange planet by a force from beyond, but after that, you don't get the sense that the two Secret Wars are related. The two Secret Warses. Mattel also made vehicles and playsets that did not appear in the comics at all. And when Mattel released Wave 2 of the action figures, they basically said fuck it by releasing characters absent from the comic event, including Hobgoblin, Falcon, Daredevil, and Baron Zemo. Since characters like the Hulk would require a new body sculpt, they just weren't in the cards. Yet. More on that later. But Wave 2 did give us the very first black costume Spider-Man figure, and the comic strip on this card is similar to what happened in the comic series. To Mattel's credit, Wave 2 did get a little more creative with the accessories. Hobgoblin has his signature glider, Falcon has Red Wing, and Daredevil has his clubs. The Secret Wars comic book was a huge success for Marvel. It spawned a sequel, and Marvel still uses the name for events to this day. But the Secret Wars toy line did not match the success of DC's superpowers, so it ended very quickly and quietly. Wave 3 only saw a foreign release, and it only included 3 characters: Iceman, Electro, and Constrictor. You guessed it, none of these 3 were in the comic series. But here's where some collector lore comes into play. If you visit Action Figure Insider, you'll find the confirmed production art that surfaced for the lenticular images of characters that were never produced, and Hulk would have rounded out the rest of Wave 3 along with Mystique. Then Wave 4 would have included Abomination, using Hulk's mold, along with Mr. Fantastic, Annihilus, Thunderball, and Dazzler? Hey, it was the 80s. I love Secret Wars because the comic series is what first got me into Marvel Comics, and to this day, Spider-Man in his black costume is my favorite Marvel character. I remember as a kid, I decided to collect these figures very late in the game. By the time I was looking for them in stores, the toy line was already cancelled, and all I could find were a bunch of Kangs. So many Kangs. But now as an adult, I finally finished my collection. So if you want to collect Secret Wars figures mint in package, here's what you need to know. The bubbles on these cards yellow from sunlight very easily. If you search eBay, you're going to find a lot of figures with yellow bubbles. I mostly avoided this, but you can see my Hobgoblin is beginning to yellow here. It's surprisingly not too difficult to find unpunched cards, but it's extremely difficult to find cards without price stickers. If good condition, no yellowing, and no stickers are your standards, figures may run you anywhere between $100 to $300 each. If condition isn't an issue, you'll spend significantly less. If you want to collect the figures loose, it will only be about $10 to $20 each. However, you should consider 2 things. 1, the paint from these figures rubs off very easily from normal play. Look at this old Spidey figure and compare it to the one still in the package. And number 2, if you can, try to find figures that still have some nice stiffness in their joints for easy posability. Also, there's a Wolverine variant out there where he has black claws instead of gray claws. I'm not sure what the story is there, but I know the black claw version is rarer and will be more expensive on eBay. So thanks for letting me share my collection with you. I hope you enjoyed this insight, and I will see you next time. Secret Wars.